Welcome back to the greatest show on earth. Usually, I have time to play my theme music and all that. I don't got time for that today, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't got time. Um, you know, I mean, I put up the best fight that I can put up, man. You know it. I've been following the rules. I've been abiding by the Constitution. I've been a law-abiding citizen, and then it seems like once I became a agent of the state of Tennessee, and once I started my law firm and law enforcement agency, it's become worse than when I've never been a civilian, but it's become worse now that I broke my cover, okay? And I tell everybody that I'm law enforcement, okay? I know how to properly communicate. So once again, my last line of communication was cut off this morning. It started in the beginning and was working. And then, because the devil is the devil, right? It was cut off, right? Because it's connected to an ex of mine, right? Like everything else, right? So because my other phones are now off temporarily, okay? Everything, business line is off. So now, I went to Verizon to start a new account because I know everything that's going to happen before it happens. I always properly communicate and properly identify myself when I go to these places. So now, because we're in this area where, once again, because of historic racism, discrimination, and hatred, okay? Whenever I go anywhere, and I don't go nowhere without my vest on, everybody knows that about me already. But when I go places and I walk in the door, I have to give my disclaimer, which I properly do, okay? And I properly communicate with everyone. And I say, Commissioner Zaid Miller Bay, State of Tennessee, I know my vest is going to spook people, okay? Do not be spooked by my vest. I am a lawyer. I own my own law enforcement agency. Okay, the problem is people don't think that it's possible. Even the police. Okay? Even the judicial system. The judge, the judicial commissioner, the sheriffs. Nobody believes a word that I say. So what happens? They constantly put themselves in harm's way by putting me in harm's way, because they don't realize how it's putting my life in danger that they're consistently calling me a liar, okay? I am an agent of the state of Tennessee. I don't get to lie. My oath of office is, okay, I have to tell the truth at all times. I cannot cause any public disturbances, okay? Chaos and confusion. So when I go to places, I properly communicate. It's not me. It is the good European American people who are trained and brainwashed into believing that the only people allowed to have an authority is the white man. Okay? I get it. I'm not upset about it. But when you violate an agent of the state's right to due process. When you violate a law enforcement officer's right to due process, it becomes dangerous because this is my brothers. They say we're not brothers. I never say that, but I'm constantly disrespected by law enforcement because they don't know the law. So as a lawyer, when I'm trying to properly identify myself, they won't even look at my documents. They won't look at them. Okay? Let me show you what give me a moment. Okay, so now, these 3 officers came into Verizon while I was opening a very, very vital business account so that I can have communication. I'm on my way to a major university in a couple of days. This is very important. I got business deals on the table. I got loans on the table. I got everything tied to my business accounts, but I can't access anything because I don't have any internet. I don't have nothing. So I had to borrow gas money from a friend, just enough to do what I need to do. And I went to the Verizon in Crossville, started going through the process, and then as I'm sitting there, 30 minutes into the process, and they keep the people at the Verizon are BSing me. Okay? They're telling me they need more documents. I said, I have all the documents you may need, but I've been a Verizon business owner for 26 years. I know what is needed and what is not needed. But whatever you need, I have it. So any time that I go places, I know what they're going to do. Okay? So they were trying to play me. So they were stalling me out until the cops came. So the cops came, 3 of them came in, walking up on me, okay, threatening me for no reason. They said they got a phone call about somebody with a vest acting weird. How am I acting weird? And I'm here on business, opening a business account. Who? So again, all of these officers come preloaded with some information that's not accurate. So when I try to properly identify myself and show all my documents, they won't even look at them. So they're like, hey, oh, you got to leave. And I'm like, for what? I didn't do anything. I didn't commit no crime. I didn't cause a disturbance. I'm here processing my business application. I'm not bothering nobody. Having a vest is not illegal. This is not a weapon. This is protection. So it's that important for me not to be able to protect myself, that these officers are willing to put their lives and their livelihood on the line. Do y'all not see how dangerous that is? It's very dangerous. So these people got hostile with me for no reason. And I'm trying to get my documents and they're threatening me and telling me, don't reach in that bag. I said, okay, you go in there. No, we're not going. I'm like, well, how do you expect me to prove what you're asking me if you won't allow me to show you my documentation? I got it all right here. My agency is right here. Everything is right here. But they never want to acknowledge the fact that I'm telling the truth. So here. Hold on.
Log 508.
I told you, Davis.
Okay, so name and badge number?
Dale 518.
Log 508.
I told you, Davis.
Okay, so now y'all
So
are
now
trespassing. Hold on. I'm about
Or else
to
you're
walk
gonna go
out.
to jail.
You need to get your stuff.
Okay.
You need to go.
For what reason?
You're
They
being
want you to
trespassed.
For what?
That
They don't
does
have to have a
not
reason.
matter.
We don't have to have a reason.
No.
You sure about
Yes,
that?
I'm 100% positive.
You sure about that?
Listen, I'm not the one in charge.
That's fine.
I'm just
But
telling
you're
you, listen, if
responding
Dave asks
to
you
a
to-
call. Listen, just hear me out for me.
You don't need to. We've heard you.
listening.
Okay?
Name and badge number?
Dale 518.
Log 508.
I told you, Davis.
Okay, so now, y'all
So
are
now we-
trespassing.
now we-
Hold on.
No,
I'm
or
about
else
to
you're
walk
gonna go
out.
to jail.
You need to get your stuff.
Okay.
We need to go.
For what reason?
You're
They
being
want you to
trespassed.
For what?
That
You
does
don't have to have a
not
reason.
matter.
We don't have to have a reason.
No.
You sure about
yes,
that?
I'm 100% positive.
You sure about that?
Listen, I'm not the one in charge.
That's fine.
I'm just
But
telling you,
you're
listen, if
responding
Dave asks
to
you
a
to-
call. Listen, just hear me out for me.
You don't need to. We've heard you.
listening.
Okay?
Name and badge number?
Dale 518.
Every time, gang. See what I'm saying? See how dangerous this is, bro? Nobody seems to understand how dangerous this is for me and for them. That they will put their lives on their livelihood on the line, their careers on the line, right? Their department on the line, these businesses on the line. So now, if somebody makes a phone call about something that's not accurate, and they come out and I properly identify myself, or I'm trying to properly identify myself, and they won't allow me to. They won't even allow me to communicate as an adult, as a human being, as a United States citizen, let alone an agent of the state. All they always say to me is anybody can print that off the internet. Anybody can make that up. Anybody could use a name that doesn't belong to him. Who would do that? So how clear is it, okay, that my right to due process is constantly violated by law enforcement? And nobody sees how dangerous this is, bro? Come on, man.